All right, chat. Hello. Hi, guys. Hi. Sorry about that. As somebody here, David, MLS, making less simple friend of the show. David was on his sailboat and had actually texted me for, hey, I'm coming into town, man. Want to hang out and get together. So we did. I actually got to meet. I did some IRL shit, chat. Some IRL stuff. Got to meet MLS today. David's a great guy. Very fun time. We got to sit down. We were actually having dinner, and I was like, I made a very concerted effort to like have my phone. I'm like, not looking at my phone, not doing Facebook stuff. We're gonna like be in the zone. And David did too. I don't know if he was intentionally doing that or not, or because he's, a boomer or Gen X, or it's easier for him. But I was like, not looking, not looking, not looking, and time flew. So I'm sorry, chat. Yeah, we were initially set for 7, but then I saw like, oh shit, it's past 7, and 2.0 had fixed it temporarily. And then I set it for 8. So sorry about that, chat. But anyways, we had a fun time. Had some really nice salmon with some great slaw. Today was very, very, very good. Then also yesterday, guys. I got to go on the fishing charter 2.0 put together. So hold on. What is going on here, chat? There we go. Hold on here. I know what I was looking for. Hold on here, chat. I know what I was looking for here. Hold on, chat. Okay. So yeah, it was a little fun time. Nice and like it was just great overall. We had a great time. Everybody did great. We got there, boat took off at like 6:15, and by like 10 a.m. we had all limited out. So it was nice. Caught a bunch of walleye, some nice walleye. They weren't like the big honkers you can catch like in the early summer or in the late fall, but they were really good. Everybody limited out. And we were back to the dock. You only had to go a couple miles out right now to catch everything too. That was a nice part. We all went out. We got back. Everything got fish cleaned and filleted, and all that ready to go. All done by like 11:45. It's actually a fun time. Nice and yeah, really, really good time. Fishing was very, 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 very good. So, friends in real life, I don't believe it. Yes. Yes. Did he hug you? No, he did not. No, he did not. Yes, we're actually doing this tonight. Yes. So, yes, there are pictures. There are pictures of us together. Yes, are we going to talk about the UK Communications Office? Yeah, that's going to be a thing for Thursday, guys. But yes, they are suing 4chan. And it's interesting that 4chan's lawyers, one of 4chan's lawyers, is Ron Coleman. I did not know he was repping them, which is pretty cool. So, did he give you your spider? No. No, he did not. No, but it was a very fun time yesterday. Did I skip dessert? Yeah, I did not. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna get ice cream." I'm like, "Well, I gotta go." So I hope you guys have fun. And yeah, I did feel bad for David. He's like, "Well, where else can we go here in Cleveland?" I'm like, "It's Cleveland. There's not a whole lot to see, man. There's a museum, and then there's like the Rock Hall." But yes, Torgo, we will talk about this. After I heard you recite Laura Loomer when I fell asleep, it gave me dreams of a dirt nap. Hashtag Loomered. Well, thank you, Lone Star Medic. Thank you for the $10. Darcy says he was out to dinner. Glad it's back on. Yeah, like I said, guys, I didn't realize it was going to be that long. Like we were talking, and it was a great time with some great guests, and it was fun. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. So also tomorrow's the deadline for Russell Greer sanctions. Yes. Cleveland is where the river caught fire. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Oh, Ron Coleman's talking with Valiant Renegade. Okay, I think that usually Valiant goes earlier, but Asmongold played Roblox today. He got furry hugged and found his way into a game where you try not to shit your pants in elementary school. Well, we're gonna get to that, like how fucked up Roblox is, because that's gonna be a thing here, just about how ridiculous Roblox is. And then, guys, just so you are aware, tomorrow night we are covering the Louisiana, the New Orleans mayor getting indicted. I mean, New Orleans is one of the biggest cities in America, and we had already talked about, I think on one of the Thursday night shows, that one of her bodyguards had gotten charged with wire fraud for merely forging his time slips. But remember, he did it using his phone, so therefore it becomes wire fraud. And it's, it's a big deal. And so it's a very interesting story. We're going to cover that. It's going to be very interesting. And then Tuesday night, we are going to be talking about the lawsuit Stuttering John has filed against Carl, who are these podcast guys, and then I don't know who the fuck the Shuley guy is, but we're going to look into that. I looking at it from like 10,000 feet, it looks like it's a stinker. So I don't know why Stuttering John filed it, but we're going to take a look at it, because maybe there's some lulls to be had in there, certainly, but don't want to touch the Dabbleverse too much. You don't want to touch those people. Don't want to get sucked into their vortex. I'm jealous of your fun dinner. Sounds fun. It was very, very good. Very, very good. Yes. Yeah, we were talking like women. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. The flats aren't what they were in the 90s and the early aughts. Well, yeah, it was nice now. It's not just people drinking and throwing beer bottles at cops on horseback. So don't be dissing Roblox while we are. Roblox is really bad, and we're going to get to that here, guys. So let's see what else we got here. If he's charging a government contract number and doing fuckery, isn't that crime in itself too? Who? I don't know who's doing that. Robert Lawrence gifting 5 subs, chat. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, I'll leave that one alone. But yes, there you go. There you go. So, all right, guys. And then EDW with 5 subs. Let's go, chat. Let's get an woo going tonight. Get another one for Robert. And chat, guys, thank you both for your generosity and your support there. Thank you both very, very much. Got you both here. Thank you so much. And remember, guys, doing your part to make America green again. Making America green again. Praying the gray away. Whatever you wish to do. Whatever your motivation, do it. All right, so let's get started. Roblox. And last night, Verbal Riot actually kind of explained away. I think it's even better than I think it's really summed up the best way. Roblox is like a universe that has basically its own version of Steam. So when you go to Roblox, I mean, when you open this up, I mean, here's what Roblox looks like when you fire up just Roblox. You go to roblox.com. I mean, look at this. This looks like it's for kids. I mean, I don't understand like how Roblox never got sued by Lego, because just looking at this on like first glance, this looks basically like a Lego derivative. Green caps, we had some issues with timing tonight. Sorry, we didn't stuff got a little fucking loopy. Sorry about that. Sorry, didn't mean to confuse you. But anyways, when you look at this, it looks like kind of like knockoff Lego shit. Anyways, look at what you see here on screen. Does it look like adult-related games? No. This looks like it's geared towards kids, right? Would you agree? I think you would all agree looking at this. This is 100% geared towards children, right? Now, that's the thing here. And you notice, look, it says about us, jobs, blog. And notice when you go to other games, like this, there's a parents part in here. It's families can thrive on Roblox. So this is clearly meant, age for safeguard for users under 13. So yeah, guess what? We know children are going to use this. We want children are going to be involved, helping families thrive. Safeguards for users ages under 13. Accessing content. Communication on Roblox is moderated. We are using dedicated supporting experiences with communication subject to our rigorous safety and moderation systems. Yeah, I don't think so. Parents can have access and insights and controls that allow them to manage who can see if their child is online, set who they're with, the set screen time, and more. They claim that parents have controls here. And but here's some weird stuff, like your child's request for updated content maturity. That's a little fucking sus. Updating content maturity. It could be mild. Well, what does that contain? May contain repeated mild violence, heavy unrealistic blood, mild crude humor, and or repeated mild fear. Crude humor. Well, when you go on to Roblox, this is some of the stuff you can find there, that games you can play. This is just an example of it. And this is one of them where you're like, wait, what the fuck is going on with these people? What is going on with these people? It's all turned into a disaster here. It's been, just some of these games are just absolutely demonic. What's been done here? You can't believe it. And one of them is, here this is just an example of a case here where Roblox has been sued as on behalf of a minor. Jane Doe, as a minor, is suing Roblox. And here's some of the games you can get, like that children are getting into. They bring up that Roblox offers a gaming app, and then it lures parents to letting their kids use Roblox with safety. Well, they host all kinds of nasty, sexually explicit content, and it turns into a hunting ground for predators. And here's are just some of the games, they talk about it's a collaborative and civil place to learn, and they talk about all the stuff you can do here. There's no age minimums. You can easily represent they're younger or older than your age. This is a default avatar, which once again, I don't know how that Lego doesn't sue for that, but whatever. But yeah, the games, basically, you can play all kinds of games or experiences. There's games like sports, role-playing, fighting, first-person shooters, fashion, horror, comedy. They have their own Counter-Strike kind of thing game on there, and there was BattleBit, which is basically kind of like Roblox, but you can get that on Steam. And until November 2024, you could communicate with children easily. Just think about this. Adults could easily communicate with children. Adult strangers could friend and chat with a child of any age via DMs. And there was no limit to that. Adults cannot directly message children, but Roblox still does not prevent this from creating accounts with fake 13+ birth dates, which then allows them to be there. And children 13 and over are still vulnerable to a friend request. And it's all about the in-game digital currency called Robux. You could spend real money to get more Robux, but there's all kinds of fucked up games. And this part, this looks pretty wholesome, right? Looks wholesome as fuck. But there's all kinds of nasty games they put together. They talk about like safety is in our DNA. Well, is it really still in your DNA? Is it really still in your DNA? Because it gets really nasty really quick. There's a game now that they have, and this is an example of it. Public bathroom simulator. It's rated ages 9 and up. Yeah, totally for 9-year-olds. There's all kinds of games. There's 600 Diddy games. Survive Diddy, Run from Diddy, Diddy Party. They have games about freak-offs. Look at all these Diddy games you can have. Does this look child-friendly? There's 900 accounts with variations of Jeffrey Epstein's name, such as Jeff Epstein supporter. There's also games like Escape to Epstein Island. This is a real game. This shit happens, you guys. There's all kinds of fucked up stuff. They openly trade child pornography and solicit sexual material. People selling their porn. Ad for a young girl to role play with, looking for a sugar daddy. Will do anything you say for money. I mean, look at all this shit. It's a public wall for a group chat named Adult Studios. Openly solicited for child pornography. This is fucked up stuff. This is just absolutely, these names. Beg for BBC, wanted your BBC. They're basically making porn here on Roblox. And, they advertise their account on their X videos, which is a porn site. There's all kinds of shit that this stuff allows for. Allows for all kinds of fucked up shit, you guys. These people, these guys have multiple accounts. And they prey on and attack and abuse children. All the fucking time. They keep doing this. And it's absolutely fucking insane. There's all kinds of the discords that they have. Discords, and they talk about discords overflowing with images and video. All kinds of CSAM. There's all kinds of this shit, you guys. It's all fucked up on there. It's all fucked. There's all kinds of CP. There's just cheese pizza flowing in these Discord servers for Roblox. This is there are other servers, one's called Family Hideout. It's just fucking creepy. They talk about Full of Minors, Groom Hub. This shit is fucking insane. What Roblox has turned into. It's been absolutely disastrous. It's been absolutely disastrous. Hell is saying, do you need your kid to opt out of the shit, or is it there by default? People will work around those things and put it where your kids can see it. So you can't opt out of it because they intentionally skate around the safety controls. So it doesn't fucking matter. And then on top of that, there's all kinds of issues with Roblox. And one of the worst is their chief safety officer is a fucking weirdo himself. Absolute fucking weirdo, you guys. It's been truly disgusting what's happened to Roblox. And one of the biggest things here, came out yesterday. It got broke. Check this shit out. The head of safety for Roblox is Matt Kaufman, and it's this guy here. And this is him. And yeah, wow, he doesn't look like a pedo, doesn't he? So, and also here's Roblox joins millions of experiences. 15 million ratings, 4.5, age 12 plus. It's a huge game, and look what they found for this guy. That this is something from Lord Cow Cow. That this guy is involved in all kinds of shit. He has interesting badges in his Roblox inventory. This is all in the farms, guys. Farms is all the credit for putting all this stuff together. Other people are bringing up the information. It's just being collated. A place called Pichero Outfits, closed off condo game in the hat, like Roblox's Hatch. Dollhouse role playing finally got placed under review, full of info sharing, age, play, dating. Place called Teddy's Condo. It's a dating site, dating game. He has a badge that's only available. Your sus roommate, a suggestive AI girlfriend game, and then Row Meet was a basically Tinder-esque game that saw dating and predatory behavior. All kinds of fucked up shit, you guys. Like, all kinds of fucked up shit this guy had. Like, why are they all pedos? It's because this is where the children are. But they're all pedos. But Hella says, who's responsible for regulating this content? Well, Roblox isn't. Roblox is allowing these children to be exposed. They're not protecting them. They aren't doing anything they're supposed to do. They're allowing children to get fucking preyed upon. They're allowing children to get fucking preyed upon. Like, why do we have a game for, like, where 12-year-olds can play public bathroom simulator? Why is that available? So why is that available? There's no need for that. So it's just so yeah. And that's the thing. Oh, what government agency? There's no government agency meant for that. So do you think Vito plays? And I'm sure he does. I mean, you'd think consumer protection at the very least, but yeah, I mean, like, I'd argue that if you're starting to harbor fucking pedophiles, it's the fucking law enforcement gets involved. But this lawsuit is just one of a fucking million that have gone out to people. Because Roblox has led to children being abducted and assaulted and all kinds of heinous shit. Because they let it happen. Well, finally, because Roblox won't do anything, the state of Louisiana is getting involved. And honestly, is this meant to be? People will beg for the government to rule them. I mean, here's part of the issue, though. These companies aren't doing what they're supposed to do. You're making a game for 8-year-olds, and then you're letting those 8-year-olds run to fucking pedophiles. Yeah, because these companies are pedophile run. Yeah, the government's stepping in at that point. So that's the issue. Did they let it happen, or was it designed for it to happen? Either or. Does it really matter at the end of the day? Is Roblox being used as a way to Trojan horse in online safety issues? Who knows with these people? Who knows? Who knows? But I mean, like, this is basically the point of, like, you Lego sending out child pornography in a fucking box of Legos all the time. Like, at some point, like, there should be some, hey, this is a game for 8-year-olds. We're not going to let fucking adults make a bathroom simulator game. There are some basic fucking rules. So, last thing you need is another government. I don't want another government agency, but these fucking pedophiles are, yeah. Yeah, it's going to lead to bad government policy and law. It is. But it's because we can't go burn it down and kill pedophiles. And as if you guys have not watched, I think it's Sim Rubin talks about it like multiple times. Roblox has been told about the pedophiles and shitbags running around, and Roblox won't do anything. So people are acting up and going after them. Yes, it's turning into pedo blocks. Yeah, it'd be more like Lego sending out a mailing list with pedos on it. Yeah, that could be it too. Yeah. Yeah. Helenette saying, "I'm happy I forbid Roblox to my daughter." Good idea. Good idea. Good idea. That's where we find out who the Lulbertarians are. Well, at some point, if the libertarianism followed to its logical end, you end up with the fucking Tyrell, like Wayland Yutani Corporation. That's libertarianism at the ultimate extreme, and that's fucking insane. And the Tyrell Corporation. So I don't like that shit. There should be some restrictions. Now, is this the best way to handle it? I don't know. But since fucking corporations won't govern themselves and let fucking pedophiles run around, yeah, this is what has to happen. But anyways, this is a petition for an injunction, civil penalties, and restitution. So state of Louisiana comes through here, and they're trying to hold Roblox accountable for the facilitation and distribution of CSAM and the sexual exploitation of Louisiana's children through interactive online gaming on Roblox. And it's like, yeah, that happening, man. That's what's happening. Like, they are not stopping it. And, Roblox could get it stopped, then this wouldn't be an issue. But Roblox cannot stop it. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. It's just absolutely... I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. Um, I don't. So I just don't know, Yeah, cool arrest Ted Kennedy. We should. Yeah, they'll use Roblox to usher in universal online ID, and that's the sad part about it. But Roblox has been used. Yeah, maybe Roblox is that because they're all pedos. Yes. CEO of Roblox is a libertarian. He used to host a libertarian radio show. I'm just sure he's a pedophile. I mean, honestly. So, I mean, yeah, I'm surprised no hackers have gone after shutting down the pedos there. But yeah, surprised it hasn't happened. So, anyways, what are they doing here? And they say Roblox are the most interactive gaming platforms among children, and it is. They market themselves as the #1 gaming site for kids and teens, and that is on Roblox. Like, they talk about it from Roblox.com. They are. They repeatedly assure parents, children, and the public that it's safe. Mm-hmm. And they say they failed to implement basic safety controls. And they say for years, they facilitated systemic sexual exploitation and abuse of children across the U.S. They permit and perpetrate an online environment in which child predators thrive and have victimized minor children in Louisiana. And they say, by way of example, like they'll talk about that on or about July 15th in Louisiana, law enforcement officials executed a search warrant at the residence of an individual suspected of possessing CP. At the time of the arrest, he was actively using Roblox. Notably, he was in the possession of and had employed voice-altering technology designed to mimic the voice of a young female for the purpose of exploiting and luring minors. And they deliberately failed to implement effective safety measures. This is a problem. They're not doing it what they need to do. So they move on and say Liz Murill is the Attorney General. She's the chief legal officer of the state. She's pursuant under Louisiana revised statutes to initiate actions. And then Roblox is a Delaware corporation out of San Mateo, California. So they designed, engineered, manufactured, tested, marketed, distributed, and sold and placed in the stream of commerce, Roblox. They provide Roblox to all 50 states, including Louisiana. And the defendant ratified each and every act or omission herein, proximately causing the injuries and damages alleged. The jurisdiction, well, it's in Louisiana, so it counts. They argue there's personal jurisdiction because the defendant engages in consumer transactions within Louisiana and directs their actions toward the state of Louisiana and has a requisite minimum contacts within the state of Louisiana needed to permit this court to exercise jurisdiction. Yeah, and I would argue they make themselves available everywhere that they are now. I know before we talked about that, well, how do you get jurisdiction in the situation? Well, this one here is pretty obvious. It's like suing Nike. Well, Nike doesn't specifically have necessarily a Nike store in every state, but they sell everywhere. Like, it's very clear they're intending to sell everywhere. And they point out that Roblox is a foreign corporation with no place of business, but has purposely directed its activities and availed itself of the laws of the state of Louisiana. So they talk about how this works now. Going to 2006, Roblox got launched, and they can play games, and those games are referred to as experiences. There's currently more than 6.4 million experiences within the Roblox system. There's all kinds of stuff. And they say Roblox has complete control over the platform hosting them, but they can do warnings for age verification, age restrictions. They can do inappropriate conduct policies. They can monitor, and they can handle and facilitate the complaints by users. Roblox is accessible, including children as young as 6. A lot of fucking kids play Roblox. It's free to download and play and is available on consoles, computers, tablets, and cell phones. An account can be set up by a child in a matter of minutes. And it's designed to be interactive, allowing users to communicate with each other in real time. All of this is all voice chat promotes social interactions. There's all kinds of ways to communicate on Roblox. So, guys, Chris Hansen does not have a Roblox account, but Chris Hansen is getting involved. The Roblox co-founder, Bazuki, has explained that his vision for Roblox to bring about the next phase of human interaction, which he also described as a new category of human co-experience. And he says it operates a human co-experience platform where users interact with each other and develop immersive, user-generated 3D experiences. They designed Roblox for young children. They've marketed not only as the gaming site for teens and kids, but also as an educational experience for children. They claim it provides new gateways into learning, from chemistry to physics to robotics and more. And they bring together what things are like motivate exploration, play, and deep thinking. And where do they get that from? They get that from Roblox in its own thing, corporate.roblox.com/education. So it's their own facilitation of this. And these offerings include high-quality, standards-aligned, immersive educational experiences designed by curriculum experts. You wouldn't do this if you weren't looking for kids. And they say the popularity among children exploded during the pandemic when it was flooded millions of new users of children were confined to their homes. By September 2020, roughly 31 million people from around the world, more than half of them under 13, were on Roblox daily, making it the world's biggest recreational zone for kids. Roblox said this in their SEC filings, so they aren't going to lie about those. The growth has been unabated. As of the 2024-2025 report, 82.9 million daily active users, 20% under the age of 9, 20% from 9 to 12, 16% from 13 to 16, and 44% at 17 years of age or over. You guys think about that. 56% are under 16 years of age. 56% are children. 16 or younger. 56%. It's the most downloaded online game, and based on 2023 stats, average user spends 2.4 hours a day using Roblox. And it says, as it noted, individuals who wish to play must first create an account. It is extremely easy to sign up and start having fun. You only have to require a birthday, username, and password. Users of any age could create the account. There's no minimum age. You aren't required to verify their age upon signups. Such users can easily represent they're younger or older than their age, making it so, for example, that child predators could pose as children. Yes. And they say, although they have to have parental permission before signing up for an account, they don't have any safety features in place to prevent this. Indeed, nothing's done to confirm or document the parental permission has been given. Nor do they require a parent to confirm the age of a child who signs up to use Roblox. The defendant has access to biometric age verification software that requires users to take a photo of a government ID with a real-life selfie photo that is then verified through artificial intelligence. And notice, this is kind of where they're going, that you have to do this, and that becomes Online Safety Act stuff. That's where this is going, chat. All because they wanted to let fucking pedophiles on. They say, however, while defendant utilizes the software for other purposes, the defendant does not utilize this feature when new accounts are created. As such, the defendant also still relies on self-reported birthdays for age verification, and Roblox is intentionally or recklessly allowing users to create fake accounts with fake birthdays, allowing adults to pose as children, and allowing children to easily circumvent the more restrictive controls for account users under the age of 13. And after creating an account, you're assigned a default avatar. You can then play the millions of experiences on Roblox. And then prior to 2024, when a child created an account, the default setting was for parental protections to be turned off. As a result, if a child made their own account listed their age as 13 or older, then any experiences available to that child. And until November 2024, the default setting for Roblox allowed adults to easily communicate with children. Adults could friend and chat with a child of any age, message and invite a child into a private or other experiences in the platform. After ending the experience, users could chat with other users in the experience, whether or not they are friends. That is, the option to disable chat with strangers in experiences was turned off by default. Isn't that interesting, chat? An idea of making all buckled up. But instead, you start off just everything's willy-nilly. Yeah. So. Someone clipped that for Sean's member tip advertisement. I take it good. It says 46,424,000 daily users under the age of 16. Yeah. That's a lot of fucking kids. Keopath is actually more because 18 is sub-children. Yeah, the problem is they stopped at 17. Like, they went up to 16 and then 17 or older. So we'll just stick with 56%. That's still bad. Joe Schmo says, imagine furry bathroom scenes in EVE Online for your $15,000 space boat. Yeah. Imagine you had to get more ISK. You had to do, that was going on. Oh my God, that would be so fucking horrible and nasty. That would be so fucking awful. Lesko says, "Holy shit, volume! What happened, dude? I didn't do anything, did I? I'm sorry. Is the volume like messed with or something?" So sorry about that. Now, under the default settings, adults cannot directly message children. However, messaging can still be done from within the experiences. Further, children under 13 can still receive friend requests from within the experiences. And then Roblox continues to make children highly vulnerable to predators. They talk about, once again, they generate through the Robux. This is kind of ripped off from the other lawsuits. And that's the thing. If you find a lawsuit's effective at explaining stuff, you just copy and paste. I'm going to take that part. Like, it's like Grand Theft Auto. Sorry, I need this. So they talk about in the avatar stores, children become obsessed with purchasing or obtaining Robux items for their avatars. And children they tell others they will do anything for a Robux because they want the money to go buy shit for their avatars. And that's fucking creepy. And they continue to grow, and it's hinged on assurances the game is safe. And over the years, they've had all kinds of problems. And as early as 2007, defendant's website assured parents Roblox is an online virtual playground where kids can do whatever they want and be safe. Where kids can safely do all that stuff. From 2018 to 16, the website continued to promise parents, "We take every precaution possible to make sure kids are protected from inappropriate and offensive individuals, as well as from indecent and distasteful content." Is it really though? So notice they have a strip club experience. Why is there a strip club experience on a game for fucking kids? And why does that look like a bucket full of dicks? You know, how is this all set up? How is this happening, chat? How is this happening? How is this happening? So they say they have a zero tolerance policy to swearing, sexual or violent content. And they immediately suspend or expelled any offenders, which has not been accurate. And they claim to be family friendly. And it says takes kids' safety and privacy very seriously. Doesn't seem like it. You know, they've advertised Roblox as a safe, moderate place to meet, play, chat, and collaborate. Once again, I'm not seeing it. You know, they've repeatedly emphasized they're committed to ensuring Roblox is safe and fun for everyone. And they say it goes above and beyond to foster an environment where people of any age can create, play, learn, and imagine safely. And they say we've kept privacy and safety top of mind when designing our platform, especially through the implementation of advanced text filters. And they say, once again, safety is in our DNA. You know, they've helped to ensure Roblox is a safe and welcoming environment. And they say, according to the current website, they won't allow language that is used to harass, discriminate, cite, violence, threaten others, or is used in a sexual context. I mean, I think we could say that's not true. I think we could say that's not true. There are no stringent safety system policies. There are no expertly trained teams with thousands of members dedicated to protecting users. There's no safety review of every uploaded image, audio file, and video file. You know, they talk about there's inappropriate content which even stricter for children under 13, include any potential identifiable information, slang, etc. So yeah, guess what happens though? And this is what the fucking government focuses in on. Shit like this. Notice they couldn't focus on the pedophile shit. They then roll in to focus on this shit. So good job, pedos. You're fucking ruining everything. And this is going to happen. There are going to be online safety acts because these fucking pedophiles. Yeah, there's no 230 protections the way they're advertising this shit. Nope, they're in trouble. Hella. I agree. But once again, imagine this. Like at some point, if they, there are like, you know, it's, if they hold themselves out a certain way, that's on them. It's not just the parents here. So, I bet you can't say MAGA or Trump. Yep, I bet you can't say MAGA or Trump at all. So, I bet you can't. But you notice, I guess the windmills of friendship are not going to be allowed. I think it's kind of base. You can do that in the game. And I mean, look at this absolute freaking tank. This unit right there. Absolute unit. So they say these misleading promises are not confined to the website. They're repeated by the highest executives. So, and a blogger wrote about blocking defendant because he doubted its safety for children. And that, they've since the beginning, they obviously offensive content, they remove it and they say if something is marginal but gets flagged, Roblox investigates immediately. Well, really? Like, so you just happen to miss all the pedophiles that are here? How do you guys miss all this? This is a screenshot for a sex simulation experience. Yeah, totally. Yeah, are we sure kids can't get into that? We take every precaution to make sure kids are protected from inappropriate individuals, as well as indecent and distasteful content. And they talk. Here's like some of the stuff. Just fucking creepy shit, man. They talk about the current vice president of civility and partnerships has said that they persuade parents to let their kids use Roblox, and she said international online safety experts to sell the stories. It says we have a responsibility to make sure our players can learn, create, and play safely. And they say that Roblox notes that the platform was designed for kids and teens from the beginning, and they're committed to making safety a priority. This continues to be our most important priority, and that will never change. They told the Washington Post they focus on making sure everything is done as safe and appropriately. They've created extensive parental controls. And they emphasize that we make sure there's a safe environment. They say our incredible moderation and CS teams that react very, very quickly. Yes. They take every precaution possible to protect children. Yeah. Okay. This is back in 2018, though, they're talking about, and they're like, it's still very early days for us. This whole digital civility focus for Roblox is still there. We're just establishing it. And then 2022, she says that the number one priority is to create a safe, civil, and inclusive community. Safety is baked into everything we do. Yep. Safety in the child porn. It's safe to make it there. It's safe. It's safe to have the child porn with Roblox. They claim to have thousands of moderators on the front lines. And they say that any sort of bad actor who comes on the platform is dealt with swiftly. No. Just let's stop lying. And notice they say all this. However, these statements don't reflect reality. Yes, with the public bathroom simulator. Yeah, with 21 million visits. Like, yeah. So they talk about Matt Coffin being the former chief systems officer, was appointed chief safety officer, at which point he too began peddling the child safety narrative. And they say that Roblox has spent 2 decades working to make the platform safe. And he says, for users under 13, our filters block sharing of personal information and attempts to take conversations off Roblox. A few months later, he says, safety has always been foundational to everything we do. Is that really the case, chat? Is that really the case? Yeah. So this is just absolute horseshit. Modern parents are so brain dead or raped that pedophiles are taking advantage. I mean, yes and no. I mean, imagine if like Sesame Street or their children's programming is doing like subliminal messaging or things parents weren't necessarily seeing. I mean, yes, the parents are responsible, but you have companies that are intentionally misleading people. I mean, that becomes an issue as well. So, yeah, don't market to young children where they're not going to do that. They say the track record of putting safety is our first on our platform. He says anytime anything happens to a child that puts them at risk is one too many. Well, really, I mean, we have this whole fucking lawsuit where this 16-year-old girl got fucking, she was horrifically and sexually exploited and abused by predators. When she was 10 years old, she had a Roblox account. And mom disabled the chat settings due to fears about online interactions. But she was unaware that Roblox fucking let pedos still touch her and talk to her. Throughout the use of Roblox, she was exposed to dangerous people. On one occasion, she was in a chat room with 50 people and was freely open to join. And while she was in this room, chatters started to list her IP address and physical home address while simultaneously demanding nude photos of her. She ended up going on a Discord. And then they begged her and threatened her there. She was basically extorted into sending nude images to predators all over Discord. This is a thing here. She tried to get help from somebody an online counselor she met on Roblox in the chat room called the Garrison. And she communicated with them believing they were there. But unbeknownst to her, it was but another predator who tried to have sex with her in person. And what happened? Well, the predator showed up at her house and snuck into the house and had sex with her. And then eventually the parents saw her walking down the street with somebody. And then eventually they uncovered the digital evidence of the CP on the phone. And as a result of all this, I mean, like, at some point, yeah, the parents tried to stop it. And Roblox didn't fucking Roblox set it up. So when you're saying parents would take care of stuff, the parents did the fucking thing and Roblox set it up so pedos could still fucking get around it. Disabling everything you could, Roblox still let pedos in. So at some point it's on the parents, yeah, but at some point it's not. Yeah, it's funny how we never got this, yeah. Parents need to be parents and not friends. Yeah, but you know what? I mean, but you don't know necessarily everything your kid's in. I'm sure those guys told her how to hide stuff. Like, that's a very common thing as well. What do you mean weren't? Sesame Street is full of propaganda. Yeah, but pornography starts popping up in the middle of it. That too, I will say the East German parenting model does not have the best rate of That's a very common thing too. Like your dad sitting over your shoulder going, "This is what you doing, what you doing, what you doing, what you doing," doesn't usually end well for kids. Just saying. Yeah, part of grooming is separating the child from the parents. Like there's a whole fucking thing about it. You're like, how do mom and dad not know? That's how they fucking molest the kids. It's all about isolating the kids so you can molest them. She's like, how do the parents not know? It's like, because sometimes they don't. Especially like it's your parent. The parents trust the school teacher. Like at some point you have to trust people in your lives. And then they isolate your kid and they do it in a way you don't know. Because they're fucking predators, you guys. Jesus. Like, just, I understand some of you guys want to shit on the parents, but fuck. Like, pedophiles are experts manipulating people. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, like, just saying. Yeah, well, the parents use the internet as a babysitter so they can self-indulge. I mean, they use children's, extracurriculars the same way, too. Go play baseball, go play soccer, go do this, go do that. I don't have to deal with you. Let's not lie and say parents didn't fucking do that. Go do Boy Scouts. It's a great way to get you out of the fucking house. Like, don't sit here and act like that. Like, don't sit here and act like that wasn't, it's always been that. It's just now there's more venues and rooms for it. Yeah, shitty parents have always existed. And it sounds like parents thought they were protecting their kids. Yeah. 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 Or you send them to a camp. Yep. Yeah, go do gymnastics. Think about it. The girls were on the U.S. Olympic team. I mean, are you going to sit like some of these parents? Your kid's on the fucking U.S. Olympic team, U.S. gymnastics. Like, are you really going to fault people at some points? No, there's like some level of like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, Kale says, do you know how much that stuff costs now? Which stuff? After Ford said I was dead, Mom. That didn't work for me. Well, um, yeah, and that here, you tell the kid I've got you. You tell a fucking 12-year-old I've got your street and address and your IP. You fucking get a fucking child to do almost anything. Yeah. Everyone's adversing brain. We're not allowed to be in a trusting society. I understand that, but a lot of people are. And like it's mostly white people because for a lot of white people, there still is a high trust society among fellow whites. But that's just um yeah. Yeah. So just saying. Yeah. So outrage from one of the guys who'd represent them doesn't quite hit his heart. Well, I mean that's you're telling me that's they're doing something wrong, but I'll still defend these people. How does that not hit as hard? It's wrong. Murder's wrong. I'll still defend a murderer. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Come on now. If you like, it's called nuance. So, yeah. That's the other two. Most sexual abusers don't cross race lines. Yeah. So in white communities, there's still a massive high trust society among white people. Yes. Brittany says my son started talking to some chick on Discord, and she got him by saying she was thinking of self-deleting, and him being who he has felt bad. I 100% think it was a grooming thing. Probably was. So, yeah. So, Robin says, is that true in England? Well, that's a little different. So, I'm never bought into being your child's best friend. I understand that, but there's also like being your parent, but this idea you're gonna act like the fucking Stasi towards your kid, that's not gonna fucking make a healthy relationship either. Like, that's not gonna work. Yeah, well, I was gonna say, why is your kid using Discord is like kind of the other issue there. You should probably just ban them from doing that, period. So, yeah, and Catherine has a great point. You all did shit your parents didn't know about and wouldn't approved of. So Kathy, your realtor in Jersey, for $10. Guys, Kathy, your realtor in Jersey, looking to buy, sell, lease, or whatever real estate issues you may have. So, yeah. So there you go. But correct. My son's gifted teacher called me the word, and I'm sure, and your kid, yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing, too. You put your kid on a school bus and a drunk driver hits it. Oh, you should have made. Why'd you put your kid on the bus? It's like, yeah, at some point, yes. Helicopter parenting is also how we ended up millennials, too. Correct. She got him to sign up for Discord, and I thought it was blocked, but he found a way around it. Well, there you go. Where there's a will, there's a way. So, there you go, Brittany. Good job. You did what you could. Guys, the bomber always gets through. The bomber will get through. That was a concept in World War II. The idea that you could knock an entire fleet of bombers out of the sky. No. You can shoot down a lot of them. You won't shoot them all down. Eventually, some of them will get through and some of them will drop the bombs. You do what you can to stop every single one. You fight as hard as you can. But the bombers will get through. So, yeah. You should also instill confidence in your child. 99% of abusers can pick out a self-critical child from 1,000 yards. There you go. Yep. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this all happened when Roblox, where parents were stuck in the house with the kids. So, like, there's a lot of that too. Yes. So, yeah. Yeah. Just saying, guys, like, it's not as simple as going, well, herbal. Yes, if you want to make them use a fucking telex machine or like a Scalextric typewriter, then yeah, they won't find any porn or run into bad things. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. Yes. And educate them with you on predatory behavior. Yes. That's not a bad idea. Yeah. So is Roblox publicly traded? Yes, it is. So, anyways, we're gonna get back to Roblox here, guys. But it's just point out, like, this shit happens. These kids are being attacked by fucking evil people who are professionals at manipulating children. You know, they've endured humiliation, shame, and constant and paralyzing fear, and a loss of trust, safety, and innocence. I mean, remember, fucking 16-year-old kid has been fucked with since like they're 10 years old. I mean, that's an example of this shit. So they keep talking about what they're doing and they never do anything here. And they say, like, here's another Roblox experience. And they have deceptive conduct, inadequate design is their failure to acquire age appropriate designations. They don't hide stuff. They're not saying it's only age restricted. So imagine that. That's a big problem. Yeah, who won a sex? Yes. Hi, dear, will you open up your cloth? Yeah, it's just absolutely fucking crazy. So, yes, as of August 15th, Roblox market capitalization is 81 billion fucking dollars. This is real fucking money we're talking about, you guys. Yeah. They have a fetish for low res, but it's a fetish because there's children are going to find them. That's why they're doing this. They're doing this shit because they know little kids are going to come to it because the little kids can wander into it. So that's why they're doing this. That's why it's here. You know, they don't have any age appropriate designations on any of this stuff. Instead, the option of all ages can be selected by the experience creator, giving children access to highly inappropriate experiences such as escape to Epstein Island. You know, the all ages category includes a litany of instances of players with sex acts. You know, you can do suitable to everyone so that everything, the safeguards are eviscerated. I mean, and that's a point. Like, then why bother having any of the fucking rules? Why bother having any of the fucking rules? If you're like, you're going to do this stuff. Just absolutely ridiculous. You know, that's the thing. Minecraft has some problems, but Minecraft actually fucking addresses things. How does Minecraft not have all these issues? That's what I want to know. But yeah, here's the escape to Epstein Island. You know, the age restrictions and options and experience example. It's set for all ages, or is it 9 plus, 13 plus, or 17 plus? And they say Roblox is deceptive by design. And they say, for example, the chat filtering feature is designed to filter inappropriate content and personal information on accounts age 12 and younger, but is less restrictive for accounts age 13 and above. So, however, these filters are easily bypassed, but you know, there's nothing the Diddy like, well, nothing you can do about that. But while the experiences are created by developers, the tools used by these ones are ones the defendants control, design, and make available. You know, Roblox has the developer kit. You know, they control on the manner in which the tools are used and placing limitations. You know, since 2010, they've had sexually explicit content. You know, the sexual activity pervades Roblox. There have been numerous reports of children's avatars being raped by others. In 2018, a girl's avatar was raped by two males on a playground experience, which the girl's mother witnessed. You know, and she had to explain to her kid what these people were doing to her. Like, you know, at some point, Roblox needs to fucking get involved in this. Children can play condo games, including houses where they can remove their clothing and engage in simulated sex activities. They can play public bathroom simulator. You can go in there as a 9-year-old and you could simulate sex in a bathroom. You know, there's virtual strip clubs. You know, there's all kinds of shit. And this is like the other lawsuit. Once again, they're ripping shit out of there. The 600 Diddy games. You know, we're marketing this for everybody. What the fuck? 900 Roblox accounts with Jeffrey Epstein in them. You know, they don't have any active age verification. You know, it's harder to use fucking Pornhub than it is Roblox. You know, what can you do here? Well, they also, the leaked internal documents reveal they monitor content, but have made decisions such as how big of a bulge is acceptable conduct, with the introduction of layered clothing for avatars, allowing avatars to wear a bunch of clothes, and whether players could be nude. And by allowing this type of content to exist, that they designed Roblox with a bunch of games like Sex Activity, the condo games, and the strip clubs. You know, all this is set to groom fucking children. There's a reason why they're doing it on these things. They're grooming fucking kids. I'm not for the porn ID. I'm not for the porn ID. I don't like it. Minecraft is built-in pedos called the Enderman. I don't know what that is, so. How do you violently rape the avatar? Like, they basically, like, I don't know exactly, but I mean, wasn't there a YouTuber or coder who claimed he wrote Roblox experiences? I don't know exactly, but Minecraft has private servers with no Microsoft connection and manages to be safer. There has been an issue with individual servers on Minecraft. Okay, well, Minecraft's just structured differently, yeah. So, yes, Vanguard and BlackRock are the two largest shareholders in Roblox. So, is there an Allahu Akbar simulator? Probably not. They probably won't let you do that. The violent rape is probably a script kiddie, yeah. Maybe I could see that somebody who's fucking around in there. But you know, this shit fucks with kids. This shit fucks with kids. And it's not limited to online games. The basic search for adult in Roblox revealed a group with 3,000 members openly chained child pornography and soliciting sex acts for minors. And then tracking these groups engaged in the other criminal conduct like that are a massive group with 100,000 members. You know, there's no age restrictions on these groups, or they've removed them. You know, they have once again we talked about this adult studios. And you know, Roblox has been designed to facilitate the creation of all this shit. And once again, we talk about this guy who has the X videos, where you can put your shit on there. And then Roblox users seek out other users to simulate sex acts with seeming innocuous games like Brookhaven, which is one of the most popular experiences and available to everybody. So basically, they design hosts that enable contradict its representation of a safe gaming service. And yeah, it happens to everybody. And these predators have access to tens of millions of children. And yeah, basically, they cosplay as a fellow kid, they get them to become friends, and then they move the conversation to Snapchat or Discord, which is very common. They say, add me, and they talk about read it backwards. You know, and they say, add me on pans, read it backward. And, you know, some kids like, okay. You know, it's easy for a 42-year-old account to find a child user and get the kid to move to Snapchat. You know, and like it's the news has talked about their pedophile problem. Um, you know, it's fucking awful. It's fucking awful. You know, we don't need to go through how the predators work, but they, you know, they gain trust and then they escalate exploitation by soliciting material like nudes or kids doing inappropriate shit. You know, it goes on and on and on from there. You know, the gaming is, you know, unregulated and the profit driven virtual currency exposes children to exploitation because kids will do things for a Robux. And they say, despite this is happening, they don't warn children or parents about this, and they profit from all this shit. Kids whoring themselves out for the online shekels. It's absolutely fucking disgusting what they do. So, And they say the predators openly engage in grooming and employ blackmail tactics. And they make no attempt to ingratiate themselves with the children, but threaten them from the start. Um, what? This is actually a very common thing. This happens a lot. Where they'll threaten to post nude photos of others online, but claim the child victim is the person depicted unless the kid complies with the predator's demands. I mean, this happens and it's only known to Roblox, and they don't do anything about it. There was one of the when I was a prosecutor, a guy was trying to do this to kids. He would start posting like others cheese pizza, but block out like everything and blur everything out. Be like, I've got your nudes. And like some of these kids were like, how do I know that? Like, he'd find a kid who was kind of like, you'd find a kid who's average looking. Yeah, that looks like me. Oh no. Especially girls. And he basically would blackmail them and extort them. Like, there's some really nasty fucking shit out there, you guys. Yeah, and they say this. If they told everybody this would happen, then it fucking blows the lid. Gives the game up. So, my nephew's a DVD player instead of a tablet, yeah. So, yeah, the way these kids there's, like, the groomer route, then there's a straight up they fucking extort and, like, they'll attack kids. And the guys who do this? A kid will be like, "Yeah, that's not my naked picture. I know what I look like. That's not me." And they'll say, "Ha, ha, ha," and, like, "Fuck you, faggot." But eventually they'll find a kid, like, there's gonna be a dumb kid, or a kid is like, "Yeah, that does kinda look like me." And that kid's fucked. The predators also often attempt to make in contact with the child, to sexually assault them. And they say through numerous cases that they've been aware of this happening. And they say for years, countless children have been abused physically. And Roblox is designed to allow predators easy access to children and groom and lure them to physical settings. Um, and it's through well documented and publicized cases. They have long been aware Roblox has enabled this. Many predators don't even hide their intentions. They have I groom minors, rape tiny kids. Earl Brian Bradley is a reference to one of the most prolific pedophiles ever. Yes, who did rape and molest hundreds of children. Yes, I mean, like, think about it. There's like, fuck. Like, I remember as a kid, like, trying to be edgy boy and having racist names playing Counter-Strike, and I wasn't allowed to do that. But they're aware of this stuff, and they don't stop them. Like, look at all these people. There's already a couple of these, and why aren't these shut down? But if you show up as Adolf Hitler 1488, I'm sure they stop you. And then, yes, there's the National Center on Sexual Exploitation, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which I'm sure many of the children they deal with I'm sure that many of them had to start on Roblox. But yes, it's part of their dirty dozen list. But yeah, treating child protection like a game. It's fucking awful what happens to these kids. And then that leads to kids who were once victims to start attacking, which happens quite frequently. People who get abused become abusers. That is a very common thing. I mean, that's what they know. And once again, the chief safety officer says that I think we're losing sight of the tens of millions of people where Roblox is an incredibly enriching part of their life. He says anytime anything happens to a child is one too many. Well, they've had a bunch of too fucking manys. And this is the problem when a corporation runs amok. The government has to step in. So, okay, distant. That's not funny. So, their chief safety officer looks like Adam Sessler. Yeah, we showed his picture earlier. He looks like a fucking pedophile himself. Like, I'm not surprised that he's involved in this. He looks worse than Adam Sessler, though. So, and this is hollow and misleading public statements. And they point out, yeah, they utilize growth and revenue profits over kid safety. And they prioritize the numbers over safety. Mm-hmm. And they say that, they focused on growth above all else, which has meant targeting, exploiting, capitalizing on children and letting it happen. They claim kids can learn and play safe games. Well, that doesn't happen there. They've been able to get venture capitalists to get involved. And there's so much money involved. They say while other gaming services verify the ages of children with restricted access, they let everybody on. There's no age verification, and a 6-year-old could sign up. So, Roblox went public with a valuation of $41 billion. And to satisfy the demands of public investors, they prioritize growth, and they didn't take care of things. They prioritize safety. They rejected proposals for parental approval requirements that would protect children. Yeah, why can't we have parental approval? Why couldn't you do that, Roblox? Yeah, and then one day for no reason at all. Oh, I agree. Parenthesis. I notice. I think a lot of you guys notice. I don't feel like I have to tell you guys to notice. Yes. And then one day for no reason at all. As it goes. And they say, as people have said, if your users are safe, then the downside is you're limiting engagement. And it says you have to make a decision, right? You keep players safe, but it's less of them on the platform. And they say by limiting safety measures, they reduce safety experiences as a percentage of revenue. And they say they frequently address questions from analysts on how trusted safety expenditures will evolve. And they say the company is focused on reducing trusted safety as a percentage of revenue. They say, for example, in response, they say that ultimately the cost to serve is the metric that we use. It's the metric the team owns. They're working hard to drive that down. Right now, it's 11%. They said, look for trust and safety costs to scale below linear as we grow. They're quite happy with it, and it's at a lower rate than our bookings growth. So they talk about it, and they say trust, infrastructure and trust and safety is at an 8-year lower year on year. And they say that, once they got public, and it was the number one app for kids and teens, they shifted gears towards strategy toward older users. And aging up, so fucking creepy the way they phrase this, was also more profitable. And while children spend more hours on Roblox, they do not monetize as well. And they say older users have more direct control over their spending. Yes. And they noted that they achieved very good penetration of 9 to 12-year-olds. And we're focused on adding users over the age of 13. Well, I mean, yes, that double entendre here is great. Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. Sure, NLO would love that. And they explained the defendant was rolling out features designed to appeal to older users, including use of real names, screen captures, sharing capabilities, video calls, and relaxed chat moderation. And they could do all that without having to compromise safety. They could do all that in their own way. They could have had more restrictions. And by 2023, they said they're no longer talking about aging up. We're a platform for all ages. And they say that, developers are building specific older experiences. But there's no restrictions on the contact between adult and child users. Um, and when asked, he admitted, the CEO, Bazuki, said, I want to highlight right now, we don't have any only 13 and up experiences. We have 28% of the top 1,000 experiences having a majority of 13 plus users, but they're open to all ages. Fucking what the fuck? Fucking what the fuck? Fucking what the fuck? Yes, penetration is an industry jargon, like they penetrated the market, meaning that's like they've penetrated the market to get into that demographic. So that's actually like an acceptable thing here. But given what they're doing, yeah, it's awful. So, it's amazing. It's amazing. Nobody's walked into that building with a shotgun yet. Honestly, I'm surprised. Yeah, for one day, for no reason at all, he escaped from Las Vegas in August of 2025. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Matt, like, there's no way to say that's not intentional. There's no access limitation for younger users. Even investors have said there's increased risk for children. And they say they've never done anything about it, but it encourages relationships. Their strategy to facilitate real life relationships. He deliberately avoided the word dating, then he announced plans to build a gaming service to support. He says, I'm not going to use the dating word, but subsequent real life relationships are going to happen, okay? And we're going to build a platform to support that. And he first acknowledged that online dating is edgy, but then mocked his own safety team's concerns about the dangers. They said that the safety people told me dating and real life relationships isn't within our current policy right now. Yeah. Really, I'm surprised nobody's showed up with a fucking AR-15 and started dropping people. This is fucking evil. So, yeah, they basically sacrificed all of this. This is fucking evil. I talk about it, until November, you could friend and chat with children of any age. Even if they weren't friends. And while there's some adjustable controls, children could bypass those by creating an alternate account claiming to be 13 plus. Nintendo has figured it out. They use pre-programmed gaming dialogues to control user interactions. They adopted a similar approach as could have been added, but it would have eliminated the grooming and child abuse facilitated. Because you couldn't solicit or extort children with messages. They introduced voice calls. And there have been a lot of concerns. It's clear because another company had implemented similar feature with disastrous consequences. Omegala was a chat website that operated from 2019 to 2023. Yes, if you guys don't know what Omegala was, it was great. It's fucking hilarious. The shit would happen there, but a lot of fucked up things happen, which children would engage in anonymous chats with strangers. There's all kinds of clips on YouTube of kids interacting with each other. Henrik saying, is this in Louisiana? They conduct business in Louisiana, so that's why they're being sued in Louisiana. Yes, it was hilarious at times. Gypsy Crusader was the best part of that website. Well, yeah. Yeah, we're not going to talk about. We can't show those clips here, but yes, there are some good ones. There's a video chat feature, and despite efforts to monitor for mature and sexual content, it became infamous for, minors were being exposed to predators. led to numerous incidents involving cases of child sexual abuse material. And the same month that Roblox Connect launched, Omegle announced they would cease operations. And its founder highlighted the site's misuse. There can be no honest accounting without acknowledging some people misused it to commit unspeakably heinous crimes. And he thanked one survivor for opening my eyes to the cost. Fucking think about that. He actually was like, oh my God, I created a fucking monster, and he killed it. And Roblox is like, well, this is gonna be great. Let's make some money. Was that the one that randomly connected you? Yes. 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 That is correct. That is correct. Oh. Hold on here. Let's see. You know what? Let's see. If you guys know what we're talking about here, what this would pop up. So you know what? Here we go. We'll do this. This will be a good one. So here you go, guys. Here's an example. This is an example of what would happen on there. You don't know? Bro. Wow. Yeah, Destiny's admitted to having a minor expose himself. Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, you would like log on and basically it's kind of like chat roulette in a way, but with video. And yeah, you'd be on there and some guy be waving his dick around and shit. And like kids would be on there running into it. Have you seen the Creedcraft video? Yes. We'll show that here in a second. Ag knows he's faking, I guess. Yeah, it was a video chat where you'd be running into people. Yep. It was like chat roulette, basically. Yeah. I mean, like you just ran right into people and it's so let's see here. Let me see if I can. Yeah. Okay. Where is he showing? This guy showed a really interesting Roblox game. I was trying to pull it up. Anyways, this is kind of like this. Is how bad it is. This is like one of the biggest Roblox star creators, and he's like, "Fuck this shit."
I've decided that I'm going to leave the Roblox star program. I probably don't need to even make this video explaining why. I think the circumstances are pretty obvious. I mean, look, it's not an easy decision, and probably it's a bad decision for me because, like, obviously I'm losing that connection to Roblox. If I get banned, well, then who's going to unban me? No one, right? Like, it's just me at this point, right? Probably won't be going to RDC anymore. You know, there's a lot of opportunities that will stop, going on the table now due to this. But I feel like it's the right thing to do. I was back I was around during the STAR program's initial inception.
He's made absolute fuckloads of money from it. He's walking away from it. Like, this guy's a fucking G. Like, he's like, this is such bullshit. I'm done. He's like, this is such bullshit. I'm done. He's fucking leaving it. He's fucking leaving it. And he, this is the head of Roblox saying, safety and civility has been our top priority. And they're worried about vigilantism. It's like, yeah, because we can't attack fucking pedophiles. Can't attack pedophiles. Chris
My
Hansen.
streaming crime network, True Blue, and I are investigating the exploitation of children on the popular gaming platform Roblox. Well, it's absolutely true, and we're deep into it. I've already interviewed law enforcement investigators and victims of this horrible activity. And we have some collaborators, some people who've been working in this space, including Schlepp, who have committed to help us in this endeavor. Will Roblox actually say anything about it? Will it make any changes? We're going to do our best to hold them accountable. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I mean, it's awful. It's absolutely fucking awful. You know, it's just absolutely awful what fucking happens here. Real Schlepp is another person who's been out there getting Roblox pedophiles arrested, and Roblox sent him a cease and desist letter. I mean, think about that. A fucking cease and desist letter. Guy's got 1 million people on fucking TikTok. Like, this guy is losing money by standing up. And I think he's the guy who's even admitted, like, he was harmed as a child, and he's fighting back. So, I mean, there's people fighting back and going after all this shit. Yeah, they banned him after getting predators arrested. Yeah. So, yeah, it's absolutely a fucking disaster. It's an absolute fucking disaster. Hi, Alyssa. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, the community knows based. Yeah, it's pretty based. I mean, this is just, you guys need to understand, this has been an absolute disaster. Like, what this has fucking done and what they're doing to fucking kids. I mean, it's unfucking acceptable. So. So it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. I mean, and on later, it's I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know what to say here anymore. I don't know. It's just so fucking disgusting. It's just, I don't have an answer for you. Yeah, Schlepp claims he was groomed. Yeah, I could. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Ruben Sim actually got sued by Roblox for exposing predators. Yeah, well, no, I thought Schlepp got the cease and desist letter. I didn't have a chance to find it to go through it, but it's out there. Yeah. So, well, like I said, man, some father walks in there with a fucking AR-15 and starts gunning people down. I'm not gonna feel bad for what happens in there. We're like, Destiny talks about, like, people attacking the NRA. Like, I wouldn't feel bad if people get, like, like, something happens there, I'll have a fucking Coke. So, but yeah, there's no basic identity verification. They could have done this all on their own internally. You don't need the government to be involved. But they could have also required children or 13 to, have to provide names and email addresses with parental approval. This decision allowed the company to bypass protections that are mandated, like COPPA. We have to worry about this shit here on YouTube as content creators. It prohibits companies from collecting user and disclosing data from children are 13 without parental consent. And it's because the FTC acknowledges the limited capacity of children to understand their safety implications. There's acceptable methods. You can have a form they sign in return, use of a credit card, contacting parents to make sure they understand stuff, offering toll-free numbers for verification, knowledge-based questions to confirm identity, verifying a parent's photo ID, all kinds of stuff. And you know what? If the parent doesn't want to get a ID shit verified, then they don't have to. Sorry, the kid doesn't play. Oh, fucking well. But yes, it requires less than a minute to get on. There's adult users aren't required to verify phone numbers. Nobody has to well, and this is where they verify your age by uploading a picture of their parents' IDs. Many other applications employ. I don't know which applications do, but okay. Despite these failures, they claim they're the industry leader, and they're not. Fucking little kids are getting attacked and abused. And it's fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting, chat. Oh. So, commercial wood chippers could fit 2-foot wide diameter logs. They could fit. You can get better ones than that, and there are also ones that have the auto feed feature. So it's going. It'll stop and kind of kick it back out. The rollers will kick it back out, and they'll kick it back in. But they let it take like breaths as it's going, as it sucks in more and more and more and more. The auto feed on, and that's the last time I handled a wood chipper doing that was. Fuck, it would have been 20 years ago now. Running a Vermeer. Had the auto feed on that. So I can only imagine it's even better now. They have wood chippers that can handle fucking 3-4 foot wide logs. Yes, what's this about, Israel? Don't you worry, I'm sure we're getting there. Oh, this is all about ushering in 1984, sure. And that's the part that's scary. We're gonna lose freedoms because these fucking pedophiles. So, did you watch the Asmongold or Tectone or Charlie's or Nook's video on this? No. Nope. It's about the government monitoring everyone? Sure. Yeah. So, it's about parents shouldn't have kids so the government raises their children. Well, no, this is also about corporations preying on children and being completely fucking evil about it. So, it's a little bit of everything. So, Mindset did a stream on this too. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. I know it happened Thursday. We had a limited time on Friday night, and then I kind of had I get it. I'm sorry. We're not the first one diving into this. So, but yes, a lot of people are talking about it. Yeah, shit's been going on forever. This shit's been going on forever. And it's a lot of people have been trying to raise awareness about it. So they say, and they point out, you can block certain words like Snap and Snapchat, the workarounds are like the use of the ghost emoji, which is the Snapchat logo. Or you could do Snappy or App Chat, or you can use the word Discord is blocked, but you can use the disk or simply typing iscord or cord. You selectively block the word Snap, but it reveals that you're aware of the off-product inappropriate communications. Yet they choose not to close the loopholes. And while defendant prevents users from sharing phone numbers, it does nothing to stop users from spelling out numbers. Yeah. There's all kinds of things you could do, limiting if they just change how, limiting interactions, they'd probably fucking fix everything. External groups have capitalized on the weak moderation by getting predators to re-upload these games. There are 150 groups dedicated to exploiting the lack of enforcement. And they say that There's only 3,000 moderators. And they talk about TikTok, which despite only having 3 times the number of users, has more than 10 times 40,000 mods. And they claim you can't really judge the quality by the number of people. Well, TikTok's doing a good job making sure the kids don't get fucking groomed. Every data set touted by Roblox is flawed. For example, they proudly point out its low percentage of reports to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They claim it accounts for less than 0.04% of reports made. But the data is self-reported and depends on the defendant's ineffective content moderation and safety team. And the reports about suspected exploitation have surged from 675 to 13,000. Oh, buddy. They point out that 0.0063% of content was flagged in violating policies. But they control the system for identifying it. So yes. It's amazing what you can say. It's like they talk about Washington, D.C. Only 187 murders last year. Yeah, that's it's a lower number, but that's still a lot. It's these self-serving metrics and refusing to take action that foster an environment where kids are being attacked. The trust and safety data is on inappropriate communications to train AI. Contradict this claim is one too many. The data only exists because of the instances of abuse. They said instead of creating a secure environment, ensuring that it never happens, they use the suffering and trauma of children for its trust and safety systems. The developers admit Roblox is unsafe. But Roblox doesn't do anything. And they say it's worse now because the moderation's abysmal. They say creeps flock aplenty. Before, the creep to kid ratio was lower, and Roblox has no interest in fixing the issues. Another dev's like, it's not safe for children. The amount of shit on there is unbelievable. I'm surprised COPPA hasn't taken any action. And, they need to automatically rate games for older audiences. Or remove them entirely. Shocker! If you just got rid of this shit tomorrow, the fucking pedos would leave. Roblox got banned for bad moderation. Turkey banned it to protect children, and they're not wrong. The amount of visits from 10 of these games is, in summary, 100 million plus. I don't want to know how many of these children have seen nudity or developed a porn addiction. But it's a problem with Roblox doing nothing to prevent it. They do nothing. This is fucking awful. And this is where I don't know this well-known short seller accused the platform of being a pedophile hellscape for kids. Who is that? Oh, Hindenburg Research. Okay, somebody claimed that. I don't know who it was. And that's where they changed all the shit about the friends list, preventing games from using chalkboard writings where people could get around censoring, and implement restrictions to stop under 13-year-olds from accessing new Roblox games that are awaiting maturity ratings. And these changes could have been implemented years ago, but they only happen when the stock got threatened. They still allow adults to contact and message children. If you're inside of an experience, you still can. There's no age verification. There's no parental consent to make an account. They don't have content moderators. They need more Jannies. They introduced the party feature. And they say because they know that users turn to Discord and Snapchat while playing games. Yeah, because you can get a Discord voice chat. And they knew that safety changes would reduce key user engagement metrics. It sought to capture that traffic with the party feature. The party feature is only available for users 13 and older, but there's no age verification. And they say that they want to make it a feature available to younger users, demonstrates they don't give a shit. They say they've also leveraged its ties to groups like Family Online Safety Institute, which just, it's like the American Tobacco Institute saying tobacco smoking isn't that bad for you. You can make up whatever fucking it's like experts in court chat. I'm the member of the National Association of Dildo Testers. I'm the National Association of Sibian Inspectors and Sibian Mechanics. Yes, I've been certified by the organization. They're all fucking made up organizations to accredit each other. It's accreditation laundering. They claim that the features were a win for child safety. And they say what they omitted though is that the own vice president of civility and partnerships serves as their chairman. That's a conflict of interest for the Family Online Safety Institute. Yeah, that's not a surprise. This incestuous shit here, this happens all the fucking time, chat, in the corporate world. So, yeah, and this shit is on LinkedIn. So when you guys see this shit and you're like, how do parents fall for it? You've got dumb fuck boomer millennial parents like, oh, it's on LinkedIn. It must be good. I saw it on LinkedIn. It must be safe. So there you go. That's why this is happening. Nicotine has 9 published cures. Yes. It's Baldo Writers Laboratories. Yes. National Dildo Inspector. Yeah. I smoke cigarettes out of pure spite now. Yes, most games censor you in chat too. Yes, I agree. Yeah, isn't it weird that Visa and MasterCard still do Roblox? Yeah, it is weird, isn't it? I know, it's very weird. Very weird. Yeah. Yep. Yep. We'll get a Clyde here in a second, chat. Shannon Burgess is on LinkedIn too, but yeah, so. So. Battlefield 6 chat is the most depressing shit I've seen. How bad is it? I haven't messed with it yet. I've only been watching like fucking Duty, watching Phil fucking lose his shit. Anyways, it's violating the Unfair Trade Practices Act. So what are they doing? Well, they're inadequate safety controls, and that they're deceptive, unfair, and scrupulous, oppressive, and contrary to established public policy. Yes, we don't like pedophiles. It's injurious to the public, including minor children. Yeah. So they point out the citizens of Louisiana are consumers. The state is a person, and these are consumer transactions. There's a lack of safeguards. The false and deceptive marketing saying they are safe for children. They've directed conduct at minor children. And they omit, conceal, and suppress material facts and advertising and marketing as related to the risk of child predators. And people believe that Roblox is safe for children. Yeah. And they say because of the risk, the intention of increased subscribership is risked. So they deceive people. And it's to manipulate parents and minor children believing Roblox is safe. And because of that, they make in-game purchases and are likely to cause harm to consumers that's not outweighed. This harms everybody, and that's why they're doing this. So the second cause is negligence and public nuisance. So this becomes a public nuisance. And it's a nuisance to the public. It's dangerous. There's a harm here. It's like having a swimming pool next to a school and you don't have a fence around it. It's a public nuisance. It's an attractive nuisance. People are going to be attracted to it. And there's a reasonable standard of care. You developed in a way that lacks safeguards. You negligently marketed and advertised it by representing it as safe for children. You intentionally wanted these children to come swim in the pool. and you failed to take reasonably corrective measures available to verify ages and identities or do anything. You failed to hire content moderators. You failed to prevent sex offenders from making accounts. Failure to require parental consent. Failure to ban user-to-use messaging. Failing to take any corrective measures whatsoever. And this is the thing here, it becomes a nuisance. What are you doing to correct this? People are coming to your thing. You have some basic fucking obligations. So, and this is the problem. These kids are being entitled, and it's not only the pools there, but there's a sign up saying, "Oh my gosh, this is the nicest pool ever. The water's so cool and refreshing." And it's everybody who comes in this pool will have a fun time. And you put up a pool next to a school. Guess what's going to happen? The kids are going to fucking go in that pool. Next door has no safety features at all. Yeah. I miss the old SOCOM lobbies. I miss a lot of lobbies, chat. So, yeah. This is Eric July's fault somehow. I know. Would you get censored then, Sean? They'll take it too far, right? I'm sure, but that's the problem here. These corporations fucking ran amok. So, okay, fine, the government doesn't do something. Guess what happens? Somebody takes matters in their own hands, and they Gary Plauché through the fucking building. I'm sure Roblox has armed security, but that would be fucking hilarious if that happened. So, Annette says, "Who are you people going to wood chip? Or the pervs are under anonymous names?" There's no such thing as anonymity under the internet. There really isn't. This idea, that's why, eventually somebody might try to dox me. You know what? I've talked to 2.0 about it. It's going to happen at some point, probably. We make it obvious, but at some point it will happen. Everybody is findable on the internet. It's just a matter of how long. But nobody's truly anonymous right now. It's just the layers. So, just something to remember. This is how they got Clyde, yeah. But yeah, this is a safety hazard. They've created an abusive and unsafe environment for children. It's a public nuisance. It's also a very attractive nuisance. Like I said, it's like a fucking rundown fun house that you don't board up. Guess what? Kids are going to go in there. And you have a duty to make sure that it doesn't happen. Tear it down or board it up. Put locks on the doors. Put a fence up. Unjust enrichment. Well, unjust enrichment, that's a little bit of it here. So, anyways, unjust enrichment is the idea that a manner that's unfair, unconscionable, or oppressive. So basically, they're arguing that they've been unjust at the expense of Louisiana citizens because they receive money to provide a service to make it safe, and they didn't make it safe, so therefore they were unjustly enriched. This is kind of a weak one, but you throw everything in because you don't get to add it later. So they want a permanent injunction, which they're not going to get. I mean, this isn't going to go anywhere, but this just shows how fucked up Roblox is. I know they would love to get it, but it's not going to go anywhere. That's the sad part. This is not going to go anywhere. This is a snoozer. Yeah, there's plenty of people who could find me right now, but we still like you. Well, even people didn't like me, they could find me right now. It's going to happen. Nobody's truly out there Nobody's out there as a ghost. So Discord is very insecure. They invite you and bully you thinking you're a kid. You get their IP and home address. Yeah. Yeah. But that's where we are, guys. That's where we are. Sorry to make you sad. Sorry to make you like, I don't know how Mindset did. I don't know how the other guys did it, man. But this shit is bleak. Like I said, man, a lot of things can happen. I wouldn't feel bad about if it happened. So, yes. Jefferson Post says, safety is in our DNA. Also, our DNA is in our coom. Yeah, that's why it's a little awkward in this situation. Imagine if Roblox got the back page treatment. Yeah. Yep. Then Graham Finlayson for 36 months. Thank you for being here, man. 36 months of support. You know, been here for the long haul. And I know other guys you have, but once again, guys, those numbers are the fuck. Like, it gives you perspective. Makes you think. 3 years ago, like 2022, I had like 1,000 subs and like going all the way back, man. Like, that was fucking crazy shit there. Does Chris Henson have a Roblox account? But no, he is, as I showed the clip, he is on the hunt now. He is on the hunt. Connie Desquad says, it all makes sense when you realize that pedos are weapons of the state. They are. Yes. You know what Alex Jones tells you? There's a cabal of cannibal pedophiles running around. Yeah. Yeah. There's a bunch of fucking pedophiles running around. Yes. It's almost like it's by design. Very true. Thank you for the super chat. Kathy, once again, thank you for your super chat. Hope you are doing well. January 6, 2.0 says, if I put my kid on a school bus and rams a bus driver kill my kid, my fault? Nope. I agree. Sweet Tooth Fairy says, all we can do is the best we can and pray our children follow our example. Yeah. Yeah. And Marlene's right. Yeah. Like, you know, those gifted kids got arrested for underage drinking. The younger sister got fired for misusing the manager's code at a register. She was cashiering. I mean, yeah, there's all like, you know, even the good kids will be fuck ups. AP518 says there's a Henry Cavill movie with the same situation, How to Spot It for the Kids. Really? What Henry Cavill movie is that? It's not always in Stop or Spot. Yeah. They're good at hiding. That's why they aren't all fucking arrested or dead. The Chugi Show for $9.99 says the only way to 100% protect your kids from online dangers is to never let them online. The company claims that parents or kids are safe. There needs to be accountability when no safeguards are in place. 100% agreement. 100% agreement. T-Rex Travel says, I'm pretty sure this is one of the reasons that Cub Penguin out of business. This is absolutely disgusting. I think so. I don't know for sure, but yeah. It's absolutely disgusting. Yep. And Jefferson says, my nephew has never had a tablet. Well, there you go. Another says, at least Catholic priests were moved to different servers. But yes. Yes, and Destiny admitted to, I don't know if it's on Omegle, but he did it on somewhere on the internet where they talked about dealing with a kid. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah. Kathy, your realtor in New Jersey, for $10 says, this is frightening and heartbreaking. Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Stardust Crusaders, been a member for 11 months. Thank you for the support, man. It says, JD Delay has been bringing attention to this as well. Yes, and guys, if you don't know, JD Delay is another one of those channels. Guy did a lot of time in Oregon prison, is out now and is basically like, yeah, I did it. It was prison fucking sucks. Don't be a criminal. Live a good life. One of those channels. Really good guy. Listen to him. Definitely fucking hates pedophiles. Definitely hates pedophiles. May the sound of 1,000 wood chippers rise up. Or the sound of 1,000 Gary Plushés. Yes, this crap has gone on for so long, it's almost become a meme to speedrun getting contacted by a chomo on Roblox. Yeah, that's a thing. And I think it's Creekcraft does it where he gets into the game on a brand new account and pops into a server, and then he finds like a person on Roblox dressed up as a penis character. They make their character a penis within like fucking 10 seconds. Let me see here. Where is... I can't find it, so... But it's really bad. It's really bad. So... It's very, very weird. Spudgun has been a member for 8 months. Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it. It says, we investigate ourselves and found no wrongdoing. Yes, it is true. That's the police method. It works. Maddie says DSP is a scammer, end of story. Oh, it's worse than a scammer. He's actually a pretty shitty person. The way he treats people. Very manipulative. And DSP is a map retard. Well, there's a lot of things about DSP. Justin Smith, member for 22 months, says, let's get those numbers up. I'm not sure which numbers you're talking about, but yes, let's get more dead pedophiles up. More the merrier. And it says, Stephen Cooper for $2 says, remember, folks, the Franklin scandal never ended. Oh, yes. So, and the Franklin scandal is about a failed credit union, and that, the Boys Town organization, along with senators, members of the government, were involved in human trafficking of, kids. Yep. Thing happened out in Nebraska. Yep. EDW Raptor $5 says Club Penguin, Habbo Hotel, and now Roblox. You can't protect kids in an open sign-up children's game. Very true. Very true. And then EDW Raptor gifted 10 subs. Let's fucking go, chat. Once again, this is what you're doing to those grays when you get subs out there. That's what you're doing, chat. Do your part. Do your part. But yeah, that's like why BattleBit's kind of like a Roblox knockoff. I only did it because it was on Steam. Because I didn't want to fucking be involved in that Roblox shit. So. That's the thing there. So. Payment processors are fine with Roblox. Yeah, they are. Yep. All of my Korean learners play Roblox. Very concerning. Yeah. It's. The Henry Cavill thing was called Night Hunter. Okay, I'll look for it. Lolita Smile says, I showed my husband the video of the trucker, and he's like, is that manslaughter? Probably will be. We'll cover that on Thursday night, guys. I know you guys might want to cover right now, but gotta save some content for the Thursday. And yeah. So if you guys don't know, there's a video out there of a truck driver. He's from India. He snuck across the border, illegally got into California, got his CDL. And I will say, he's sitting on the shoulder of the road, and he makes a wide sweeping U-turn through the emergency turnoff. And as he's cutting across the lanes of traffic, a car comes in. Now, to be fair, I don't know how the fuck the car didn't see this. Like, they were definitely cruising and not paying attention. But still, had he not done what they did, those people wouldn't have died. But I'm still like, fucking, hey, bro. Fucking don't run into shit. Like, how can you not see that? But yes, that is definitely going to be some sort of manslaughter. So. Two Town was peak internet, yes. Dave said, you missed my membership chat? No, I thought we just did it. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, David. I'm sorry. Been a member for 11 months. Sorry, you and Stardust were together on that. My bad. Feed them all to Chippy. You guys like Chippy, but you know, there's something about Gary Plauché that I think is better, knowing that there's always somebody just as they're walking along, just you know, or like Gary Plauché shows up to their job site, you know, you pedophile motherfuckers. I was only doing my job. I just work. I'm an accountant. You know, you're facilitating the monster. But thank you for being here for 11 months, David. Appreciate it. Sorry about that. I thought I got to you. So, my bad. I want to buy subs, but I don't want any grays to get hurt. Yeah. Well, I hear the strange sexual fetish of all the people with the Clippy icon. Yeah. Hunch says, how about the Chicago gun buyback scandal? I don't know. Don't know about that one. See if that's something I need to pick up for later. Chicago gun buyback. What are they? Oh, a woman got shot with a buyback gun. What? But at least 2 of the guns have resurfaced. Oh no. That's interesting. Wow. Well, there you go. That's Chicago for you. Thank you, Punch, for that super chat. I appreciate it. Oh. Let me see here. So. Then Matthews saying for $10. Browse Rodriguez et al. Versus ByteDance. Let me see here. What do we? I mean, is there an update to it? So. Is that the privacy case? I don't know which part about it because it looks like it's been going for a while. I mean, like, is there an update? Hold on, let me see here. Let's go to court listener, see what we got. Let's go to descending order. No, I mean, we can cover this. I just didn't know if there was anything to cover on it right now. No, definitely we can. Probably not tonight. Probably not tonight, though. No, it's something we could do here coming up, Matthew. Thank you for super chat, though. We'll definitely put that on the thing here. January 6th, 2.0 for $5 says, if I rented the home next to the Roblox CEO and ran a wood chipper cutting logs all day, would that be considered as a credible threat? I mean, if he's really a libertarian, no. If he's a real libertarian, we'll find out. T-Rex Travel says, as a CDL truck driver, it's pretty simple. Just don't make U-turns. There are way too many dangerous for everyone involved. I mean, I grew up in Central Ohio. U-turns just simply aren't legal anyway. Yeah, but what he did was he turned through the emergency turnoff on the highway, on top of everything else. So Chippy or Clippy. Okay. Gary did it in an airport super based. Yeah, they did. Why, Gary? Why? Battle Bits Remastered was pretty cool, though. Pity has gone to shit. I haven't played it in a long time, but it was fun for a while. So, does that pop in people who work for them stop before or after their defense attorney? Kitchen Knife Rescue says, did that pop in people who work for them stop before or after? Huh? Oh, stop before or after their defense attorney. Well, I mean, depends. You come find me. I just work. I'll be sorry. You're done. Have a great day. I mean, you can make that. You can make whatever arguments you want to make, homie. But I know what you're saying. But hey, you know, it's like you come at me. You better fucking come heavy. Gary Plauché and Marvin Heemeyer. Yes. I thought buyback guns are supposed to be destroyed. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. You know, but they're clearly not. They are clearly not. They are clearly not. So, Uncle Ted had only targeted Roblox. That would have been based. Yes. Yes. Cop from my hometown was killed with a buyback gun from Albany, New York, which is like 2 hours away. Yeah, that's not uncommon. Those guns get snuck out and stolen, or cops will take them. And yeah, it was a legal turn. I agree. But it's still a little like I would love to have seen a dash cam of that person in the van just, I'm like probably on their fucking phone and shit too. It's like they just fucking full send right into that trailer. Like, I don't see how they couldn't have known that was happening. Doesn't excuse the Pajit from doing his thing, but does make you wonder what would have happened there. The reason why Gary wasn't shot by the police because he was known. Well, I'm sure they weren't expecting that. California law, cops sell buyback guns back to the gangbangers. Oh, I agree. Yeah, I agree. If someone does a postal at Roblox, can we do a fundraiser? Maybe. We'll talk about that. I think I said latency. It's like, well, you have fun with that. A cop in New Hampshire might be in trouble because some meth head stole a weapon from his patrol cruiser. Well, there you go. Even if they stopped in time, let's say the people behind them didn't see the truck. Well, I don't know, at some point there. January 6th is a CDL driver. He's full of it. U-turns are not only allowed in certain areas, but the only way to reach certain highways or yards. But in general, like around here, like, yeah, but most places, like in Ohio, you can't do U-turns. And what they did was a U-turn onto like a fucking emergency turnoff. Yes, Jody Plauché was on Unsubbed and talked about a lot of what happened there. Yep, he was. Yes, you can go to the buybacks and turn in pipe guns. That is a very common way to do stuff here. Real quick, hold on. See if we. Hey, Clyde, come here, bud. Also, guys, I'm sorry for a Sunday. This is a very depressing one, but sorry. Come here, Bubba. Come here. Hey. Hi. Hi, buddy. Hey. Come here. Come on. Up. Hi. Come on. Up. Hey, jump. Like, he laid down, and I'm like, no, up, not down. Here you go, chat. Do you have something to say, Clyde? Wait, what's that you want to happen in Roblox? Who? Who McVeigh? Jimothy McVeigh. I don't think his name was Jimothy, Clyde. I don't think his name was Jimothy. I think you mean Timothy. But hey, I appreciate your moxie. Sir. What's that? One rider truck, but two? I feel like I'm doing like a freaking Sesame Street thing here. It's like 2 rider trucks. So, how the fuck does the driver miss a 53-foot box across the highway? I'll never know. Well, there is that, yeah. So, wasn't that a major part of the Rampart scandal in LAPD? No, they were selling drugs back, and they were doing basically like the Shield. The Shield is basically Rampart. Like, they were running drugs, they were selling drugs, running things and doing deals for drug dealers and other people. They were involved in a murder or two. They did all kinds of nasty shit. Hi, Bubba. Hi. Hi. So, it's very interesting what they did. Then they lied and put people in prison. They did all kinds of shit to. Is it your phone, sir? Do you have a text coming in? Hmm. Clyde has the lip. Yes, he does. I'm not afraid surprised at all. Someone or a group of people claiming to be anonymous starts DDoSing Roblox sooner than later. No, Anonymous is full of fucking pedophiles and government glowies and shit. So no, that's not going to happen soon. And if those people did it, the government would go after them. So let's be real. The government would be helping Roblox. I mean, let's fucking face it. The government would help stop those people. So mark my fucking words if that were to happen. When do we get our makeup local stream? I don't know. I got to figure that out. Jeremiah. But yeah, guys, tomorrow night, starting at 7, we're gonna go through the DC mayor's indictment, and then Saturday or Tuesday night, we're gonna do the Stuttering John lawsuit. Go through that, and then we're also gonna go through Mickey Stein's motion to dismiss hearing, because there's not gonna be a ton of stuff in the Stuttering John thing. It's a pretty simple lawsuit. It's really bad. So. Clyde is looking all neat and tidy. Did he get a haircut recently? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He got the haircut recently. I think like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, he still smells like the shampoo. He still smells like, can you do on a woo? No, he won't do no woo. Is Clyde stacking fertilizer now? Well, yeah, he's always been doing that. They have had gangs in the LAPD and the LA Sheriff's Department. Yeah. Yep. A lot of police departments have actually had gangs, believe it or not. Stace says, I got a new to me embroidery machine, even bigger. Well, there you go. Congrats. You can always tell Clyde likes you by the way he always wants to get away. No, I think he likes to sit like this so he can look out the door. Like, yes. Like this, Clyde. He wants to look out the door. He wants to look out the door. Hey. He likes to sit this way because he doesn't like to face me. But he likes to sit this way for 2.0 and stuff too. Did Clyde get walleye? No, Clyde did not go on the boat. So. Don't talk about pedos in front of Clyde. Well, he knows about the Haitian, so he'll be all right. Bella says, my God, J.E. streams all the time. Or who streams all the time? Sean will make it the local stream when Nick gives out the 5K gift. Yeah, there we go. It's about a month before Clyde looks like an Ewok again. Yeah, he gets pretty hairy. He grows. If Clyde ended up being a Fed, how betrayed is that? Like top 10? Yes, that would be so bad. It would be awful. I would cry. I would cry a lot. Yes. Oh, Bella says you. Well, thank you. Yeah. Yes, so Visa and MasterCard shut down 18 plus games on stream, but 100% block, back Roblox PDFs. His name is Robert Paulson. I agree. You know that ending of Fight Club, I really wonder if all the credit card companies, back then when like the data wasn't all like stored everywhere, imagine if all that data had been lost. Yeah. So there you go. I agree, Sleazy. And thank you for the $10. But yeah, like I said, it makes you fucking wonder. And then also, I guess while we're here real quick, 2.0, I brought in some boxes at the end of the week last week, and she kind of forgot about it. She's like, oh, this is for me. So like there's like one more present to do, chat. So oh, nice. Okay. So chat, what do we have here? Oh, real quick. Yeah. Before the grave. Yeah. This is the problem with children. One started at 3, but escalated at 7. The other's trying to, harm another child. Yeah. And that happens within families. Like if the older child is, harmed, they may harm their siblings. It's a very common thing that happens. It's a very common thing that happens. And it's fucking sad. It's sad. Yes, remember, boys, the IRS is both physical and digital storage sites. Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah, then like this is one more for the year to come. Yes. It's actually interesting here. So what else has this got? What has this got? Okay. Okay, this will work. There's so much you can do with this, but it is a 75 millimeter anti-tank gun crew for a PAC 40 L46 Kanonen. This is going to be pretty good. So, but yeah, the 75 millimeter, that would have been very adequate for an anti-tank gun for quite a while. Fucking putting holes in a lot of things. So, thank you very much, sweetheart. 2.0, are you out there? 2.0? Honey? I wonder if she might be like, I wonder if she went to bed early. 2.0 is not out there. So the toe of its day, yes. Maddie says, if I go fuck with Cyrax, please don't go fuck with him. Do you really want like any of those scabs touching you? And get arrested? Can you defend me? Sure, I'd defend you. It's not that far away. But don't go fuck with Cyrax. Green Cap's address. I hope it was a PO box. I didn't show the address. I have the address here. So if I did, let me know. I'll go back and fuck with it. Oh. But yes, that was the toe of its day. Yes, it was. The Mariners or Mets or Williams, like they're playing at the Little League World Series Stadium. How the fuck does that work? They're gonna be hitting home runs all day long. Yes, imagine if Cyrax headbutts you. Yes, it's good on everything till an IS-2 shows up. Yes. The label was cut in half. Okay, well then fuck, I need to fix it. I'll take it down and remove that. So you should get a copy bearer to keep Clyde company. Those things look so weird. Oh, they have a special stadium nearby. Okay, I was about to say, because like if they're in the little kid stadium, it's just gonna be like half swings and just like, fucking launching them. So bunch of kids in the stands. Well, the Roblox thing is happening now. Bunch of kids in the stands, of course. Oh. Capybaras are the best friends of every person on the planet. So chill, yes. Dead Snakes is my favorite piece of World War II German tech were their tank destroyers, especially the ones the OKW used in Company of Heroes 2. Yeah, and actually it was interesting today. We drove we actually were driving around, and this weekend was the D-Day event out that they have out in Conneaut, Ohio, which you guys have never been to. Is a pretty cool event. Basically, and see if I can find a good for Ohio, and because the Lake Erie out this way, the ground doesn't slope down. It's basically kind of like cliffs. So it's like a 40-foot tall cliff. And if you guys have never seen it before, it's actually pretty cool. Let me see if this will be a good example. Yeah, and it's got a big old beach and stuff, and guys have never seen it before, but like the Germans and yeah. The Stug 2 has the most tank kills for Germany in World War II. Yep, it is. But anyways, they do this out in Conneaut, Ohio, way up in the northeast corner of the state. And you know, the Germans defend the beach. And, you know, like you said, this is the basically until you get like pretty far west of Cleveland, like towards Toledo, the coastline is like this. So most houses, even if you buy a lakefront house, you've got like a significant drop. Like this is a manicured hill. A lot of places it's really fucking steep. But they did this yesterday. And then, anyways, they storm up the beach. And then they storm through the park in Conneaut, fighting the Germans as they go. But yeah, here's an example of it. Let's see if YouTube won't be all bitchy about it. But we'll see. But anyways, like they have their own little bunkers and stuff. It's actually very cool. I don't know if this is going to be, but like any of these major reenacting channels, they do all kinds of stuff. And then, okay, I don't care for the music because of the Pacific, but like they have a ton of reenactors, a ton of equipment. There was a Sherman tank on the beach still, getting ready to take off, like getting ready to get loaded up. And like, but they have all kinds of reenactors all over the place. I think there's well, here we go. Here's an example. Let's see if this is any good. They're like, there's all kinds of people. You know, there's all kinds. Anyways,
set up today.
And here's the neat thing. This is the beach for Conneaut. This is at one of the parks. They got like Czech hedgehogs everywhere. And, you know, this guy's part way up the hill. But you know, yeah, they come in
present at the incredible Battle of D-Day on June 6, 1940.
They come and land, and yeah,
this
it's pretty cool.
Reenactment takes place over the course of about an hour, and you have troops
Thanks, Green Caps. I'll
landing,
get rid of that.
You have them coming to shore. You have the Germans defending. You have a large, high kind of bluff that has some German bunkers on it.
Yeah.
So it kind of represents all facets of the battle on D-Day. You even have special forces represented as well. So as many of the different groups of soldiers that were there, they try to bring out here to the reenactment. This is part of
see, that's the thing. They do have airplanes. They have airplanes showing up, and yeah, they just
Ohio, which takes place over 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Anyways, yeah, they have all kinds of, you know, the Germans show up, and then these guys come up the hill. And yeah, and they run up the hills, and yeah. And the Germans, you know, fall back through the area as they fight. And, you know, there's fighting throughout the park. As you can see, that's like the edge of the park over there. But they also have like the living history of stuff everywhere. You can hang out, you can go through and see all the different things. You know, they let, you know, all kinds of stuff they do. It's actually a pretty cool event. They also have done, I think this year they didn't do it the same day, but they do at the, there's a county airport nearby, and a bunch of dudes did like an actual jump out of that thing. So, yeah. So, do the good guys win this time, Meme Copium? I don't know. I don't know, sir, if they do this time. Yeah, every onlooker gets Giga flagged, yes. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to let you win. Nar! I demand the right to win. But yeah, they have all kinds of stuff there. Yeah. So, do they simulate our Negro soldiers raping their way through Europe? No, they do not, sadly. Or no. Yes, guys, find Meme over on Meme Copium, Aniaka Adventures, or Giggy over there doing the dino stuff. So. And EDW Raptor says, is this a demonstration of what would happen if Michigan invades Ohio? Maybe. Hunch says, seriously, chat, the reenactors from around the world come to this event. Yes. They get everybody who's anybody in reenactment. Yeah, like, it's a big fucking deal. Like, to get all that equipment in one spot is actually pretty impressive. Like, yeah, it's a thing. It's a whole undertaking to do. It truly is. It truly is. So, but yeah, I think it's really, really neat. And yeah, it's like, I think even like the Chieftain went to it last year and covered it, but like a lot of these, yeah, it's really, really fun. It's really fun. So, are they gonna have ships there anytime soon? I mean, no, because you got to get ships into Lake Erie. I mean, the USS Cod is in Lake Erie, but that doesn't have operating engines. That would be hilarious though, if the USS Cod, a submarine, showed up and like could like partially submerge and then surface right out the shoreline. No. They can play make believe like no one's business. You know what though? The historical reenactors. I mean, think about this though, Bob. Pretty much all the veterans of World War II are dead now. Like, they're pretty much going to be dead here. Another 10 years, they're all gone. Think about it. So, it's kind of important. It's the only way you can show stuff in history. So, the last guy from the Arizona just died. Yep. Yeah, so there's yeah, vets are 95 plus. Yep. Yes, we're gonna have more. We'll never run out of Holocaust survivors, though. That's because they eat the adrenochrome. But yeah, I mean, like, they're disappearing. Like, without reenactors, the movie Gettysburg never would have happened. Gods and Generals would never have happened. Like, reenactors are very critical for things, believe it or not. Yeah, next 10 years, all the World War II vets will be gone. The Romans reenact battles. I mean, yeah, there are people who do Roman battle. Like, that's more of a European thing, but yeah. Yes, if you were on the Arizona, they will take your ashes down to the ship and deposit you there. The Navy does that for Arizona survivors. The pedo problem, I assume, is why the Nintendo Switch Online sucks. No, Phil, it's just the Switch sucks. Yeah, the last in our family died a couple years ago. Yeah. That's not a surprise. I mean, when you think about it, guys, when Saving Private Ryan came out, he would the guy would have been in his like 60s to 70s at that point. Private Ryan, when the movie came out. So, yeah. Oh, Romans reenacted their battles. Yes, the Romans would flood the Colosseum and have naval battles. But yes, it was uncommon. Yes, I get it. Yes, the Romans would reenact full-scale battles. Sweet Tooth Fairy says the Pampanito is a subdocked in San Francisco and is neat to see. Yes, there's also the cobia up in Wisconsin, but they're not as cool as the cod. The cod still has original World War II like configurations on it. It didn't get reconfigured during the Cold War, so it's also got a banging YouTube channel. But the Pampanito's okay. Yes, there is a ship in Pittsburgh too. Yep, and it's amazing all the shit they moved around, and they did that. They put naval vessels all over the country. That way, reservists could drill without having to travel long distances. Dead Snake says, my grandpa's the last World War II vet in my family. He's unlikely to live to see his birthday next year. Well, that's sad to hear, but hopefully a life well lived. Hopefully he lives to see it and proves you wrong. And you have to eat some crow. That'll be a good one. The World War II veterans being extinct is sad, yes. But the era of the boomer truth myth can't end soon enough. Well, that's true, yes. Yes, they used the Pampanino in the movie down Periscope. Yes, they did. Yep. That's a good movie. It's a funny movie. Isn't there a Lake Erie monster? No, I mean, no, the only monster in Lake Erie is all the mercury in the fish. So, I mean, that's the monster. No, there's like no Loch Ness of Lake Erie. No, it's just deadly because it's shallow. So when a storm whips up, it's very, very dangerous. Yes, they now sink Navy ships for artificial reefs. Yep. You're the last surviving Lance Connect. How brave of you, sir. There are no blinky fish? Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Yes, the United States has the only surviving Type 9C U-505 in Chicago. Yes. Yes, it's a really cool exhibit in Chicago. It's the Museum of Science and Industry. Yes. Jen, what's over by Cedar Point? What's over by Cedar Point? Oh. I want you to talk about missing kids in Lake Erie. Well, yeah, that's a lot of people disappear on Lake Erie. Oh, the Lake Erie monster. I've heard of it, but you never like a ton about it. No. Aren't old battleships one of the few sources of uncontaminated nuclear radiation-free steel? Yes. The Chinese are salvaging those from naval battles in the Pacific. They are going down and ripping steel off of naval wrecks, basically war graves, to do that. But yes, because it's unradiated. So, your granddad turned on the Purple Heart. He didn't get shot down, but he did get in the boat. He did getting in the boat that picked him up. Well, that's funny. Charles says, I was awarded the Purple Heart in 1969. Well, thank you for your service. I'm glad that's all you got. You didn't have to get anything else from them. The damn PRC. Yeah, the Chinese don't give a shit. It wasn't their war. The Japanese and the U.S. protested a lot, but yeah, I mean, they haven't started taking it from U.S. wrecks. They've been going after the Japanese ones. Because there's a ton of the Japanese Navy at the bottom of the fucking ocean. You can remove irradiated materials in modern steel, modern methods. Yeah, but for a long time, China didn't have that capability, so they scavenged steel off sunken ships. So, the British ones as well. Yeah. Yep. So, Salt on Loan, for God's sake, did the Air Force ever bomb AAA? Not like today where you go and attack like SAM sites, like the concept of suppression of enemy air defenses. Not really, because it was a different situation there. Like as the bombers are flying through, there aren't fighters prowling to go attack the flak cannons. Mainly because you have to then attack fucking flak cannons which are shooting at you. So no, I don't. They wouldn't go attack like 88 millimeter cannons that were just lobbing shells up in the sky, or like on one of the flak towers where it's like 128 millimeter cannons are just lobbing up flak shells. There really wasn't any of that because it wasn't really effective you could do. Now, if you're attacking an air base, yeah, you might have like part of a squadron rolling in and suppressing the 20 and 40 millimeter cannon mounts in an area. But you couldn't really, you really weren't doing suppression of enemy air defenses wholesale like you see today. That would have just, it really wouldn't have been, I don't think it would have been like feasible in that sense. So I hope that kind of answers your question. Like, there wasn't anything specific. I mean, it was more effective to try to jam radars, because without the radars, the flak gunners weren't very effective. So if there was no radio direction finding, and they couldn't be directed properly, a lot of them are just kind of guessing and lobbing rounds in the sky. So you would have to. Well, yes, airborne was sent in to do it, but there wasn't like a wholesale, like on the bombing raid to Berlin, because you're basically going to be catching flak a lot of the way there. So, but yes, like in support of operations during D-Day, yeah, we needed to knock out a lot of enemy air defenses. But like if there's an attack on Berlin, like it's a little different then. Like it's, when you have to like destroy SAM sites, it's a little more precise. Yeah, AAA guns are not cannons. Well, AAA would be anything. A 57 millimeter cannon would be AAA. Why did the Spitfire not have the same range as the P-51? I mean, like a lot of design differences and priorities. The Spitfire was a pure dogfighter. And it was, the Spitfire was designed to defend the British Isles. That's what it was designed for when it was invented in the 30s, to defend Britain. To defend Britain. That's all it was meant for. The P-51 got designed. We need something that'll do everything, include going all the way. All the way with the bombers and back. Like, there were two different design requirements. So, and they both are really successful. And then if you go watch the Greg's Automobiles and Airplanes channel, he points out, based on the power ratios and weight ratios, the fucking F6F Hellcat would dominate everything in the sky in Europe, which is funny. Meme says, what is flak anyway? Just metal junk? Basically, it's like a grenade that goes off up in the sky, but on a massive scale. So like 88 millimeter cannons are like about 3.5 inches, roughly. So, a 3.5 inch artillery shell exploding up in the air. But yeah, it's an explosion, and you're not trying to directly hit the planes, because you're never going to be able to do that. You're just trying to shower them with fragmentation and destroy vital equipment or kill crew members. So, and when you're in the, like if you're on a German flak crew, you're setting a timed fuse so that it gets to a certain point, it goes off. And as Nero points out, yes, the proximity fuse, which could sense when something was nearby, which U.S. flak guns had, would go off at the right second, and it would go off and boom, hit. Because that was a little different when like an airplane's coming at you. Well, how far do I set the fuse for? Just fucking send it. With the flak guns the Germans had, you had to figure out where that plane was and shoot it. And if the planes went high or low, it wouldn't be effective. So, Keopath says fought out engines. That's enough. You couldn't really fought out a cylinder engine, though. I mean, think about those engines, especially like a P-47, for example. You could throw a ton of cylinders on that fucker and it would still run. So it's really hard it's hard to fought out a radial engine. If it's an inline engine, yeah, it fucking sucks shit in your toast. So, but Meme, I hope that answers your question. So, because the idea, it's kind of like a surface-to-air missile. An actual surface-to-air missile, like if you watch Behind Enemy Lines, that part's actually true. Like it gets close enough and it goes skloosh, a bunch of shit at it and tries to knock the plane out of the sky. You don't actually try to like hit into it. It stops nearby and then fragmentation everywhere. Models later. Not tonight, James. We are gonna probably wrap this up. I got an early morning, so had a nice weekend. Busy weekend. Want to get ready for the weekend there. Get ready for the week. But we'll do a model stream this week, probably. Like Wednesday. So, Charles, I'm not going to try to have arguments with you on this tonight. In the late European theater, flak got more air to kills compared to German fighters. Flak, yeah, well, flak got a lot of kills. Flak got a lot of kills. Anti-aircraft defense has got a lot of kills. It was very dangerous. How's the fishing? Really good. We all limited out. We limited out. So, well, it's not exactly realistic, but the concept is correct. Like, it's not like in the movie, it shows it as like a bunch of scrap metal shoved in there. It's not that. It's like they designed the warhead to fragment. but the concept of it kind of just like shotgunning out fragments to knock it out of the sky is how they score hits on those. So, but obviously it's going to get real close because these things are traveling hundreds of miles an hour in different directions and angles, so it still gets close enough to go off. So, does that have Owen Wilson in it? Yes. Yes. If you go to Commando store, they sell that fucking tracksuit thing the guy was wearing. So, with that said, though, chat, we're gonna wrap this up. I gotta land the plane. Speaking of planes, and we're gonna be done here. So, we are gonna wrap that up, and I will talk to you guys later. Remember, guys, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, we are gonna get into the New Orleans mayor. Then Tuesday night, we're gonna do Mickey Steins, and like I said, we're gonna do the Dabbleverse lawsuit. It's not super in depth. It's actually kind of retarded. I don't know why it's going forward, but they'll have fun with that. I'm the planes, Chad is the flack. Well, I catch a lot of flack from you guys, so yeah. Very accurate. So good night, chat. Remember, until next time, just because you did it does not mean you're guilty. And also, Roblox deserves anything that happens to it. I don't feel bad. I have no pity for those people. Good night, chat. Take care.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty, but please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fat guy Rick Hayden yelled at? Why, yes it was, he even knows he's fat. For all this fun and more, there's one place to go, here on Sean Martin's Potential